जय जय।
Hello, everyone. Jai Jinendra. This is Pragya Jain from International School for Jain Studies, ISJS, and you are here to listen to the 19th lecture in the online lecture series on genealogy. Today, we are going to talk on a very important and a very relevant topic, contributions of Jainism to Ayurveda. Uh, to speak on this topic, we have Dr. Rekha Jain with us. And to chair the session, we have our president, Dr. Shugan Chandji, and we have all of you. So without any further ado, I would request Harshit Mishra to do the Manglacharan. Harshit.
Thank you, ma'am. Please, everyone, join the hand. Namo Tadam Namo Tadam Namo Ayiriyadam Namo Ubadhayadam Namo Loe Sab Sahudam Eso Panchanamo Yaro Sab Pava Panasano Mangalanam Chasabesim Padhamam Havai Mangalam Padhamam Havai Mangalam. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harshit. Thank you so much.
நல்ல பாடினார்ல.
Okay. Now I would request our director, Dr. Srinetha Pandey, to welcome you all formally. Dr. Pandey.
Namaskar, Jai Jinendra. I welcome you all to this 19th online lecture under the lecture series on different aspects of genealogy by International School for Jain Studies. As you know, today's topic, contribution of Jainism. I request you all to please mute your mic. It's my humble request you all to please mute your mic. So as you know, today's topic, contribution of Jainism to Ayurveda, is very interesting, unique, and I will say less discussed, and it's concerned not only with human being, but as per Jain tradition, as per Jain philosophy, it is concerned with every living being. And the topic is not related to physical sciences, but is very much concerned with spiritual science also. So that's why in Indian medical system, popularly known as, in India, we call it science of life. We do not call in our Indian terminology medical science. We call it science of life, that is Ayurveda. And that's why Acharya Susrut in Susrut Sanghita, he says, Ayur Asman Vidyate Anenva, Ayur Vidyanti Ityayurveda. Means Ayurveda helps a man to enjoy a longer life, a longer duration of life. And why? What is the important of this longer life? So Acharya Bhagvat, a very famous Indologist, Indian Acharya, he says, Ayu Kamayamanen Dharmartham Sukh Sadhanam. Means longevity is desire to perform our dharma. In Indian philosophy, dharma means our duty towards our family, towards our society, and yes, of course, towards our own spiritual goal, that is called moksha. So in this session, actually we are going to learn how and what Jain Acharyas have contributed to this area, and to discuss the topic, to throw the light on this unique subject, we have invited Professor Dr. Rekha Jain, who is known for her research and contribution of Jain Acharya's contribution of Jainism to Ayurveda. And Dr. Jain has been associated with many institutions in India as professor, advisor, visiting faculty, research guides, guest faculty members. So we are very fortunate to have Professor Dr. Rekha Jain ji with us. She is associated with us for a long time. I remember he participated in one of our workshops we conducted in Delhi on Samay Saath. So she participated in that workshop with her students. So on behalf of ISGS, on behalf of myself, Madam, I welcome you this virtual platform of ISGS. I would like to welcome our president, founder of ISGS, and chairperson of this session, Dr. Suganchan Jain, who not only founded ISGS, but rehabilitated many institutions like Parsanath Vidyapit Varanasi, and of course Hiralal Jain School in Delhi. Sir, I welcome you to this 19th online lecture by ISGS. I would like to welcome co-founder ISGS and president of Jaffna, USA, Dr. Surekshan Jain ji. I welcome Dr. Narendra Parsan ji. We have Dr. Anil Kumar Jain, Dr. Falak Jain, and many other scholars, students, faculty members, not only from India, but from from all over the globe. So I welcome you all. Before I hand over the proceeding of this session to Pragya, I would like to inform you all about our programs we are accepting applications for. So we are offering a 1-month online course on fundamentals of Apabhransh language and grammar. First time we are offering this program for especially Hindi speaking students and scholars, and very soon we are going to offer the same program for our overseas friends also. And the last date for the application of this program is 20th March. And the second and the most popular program by ISGS, it's 20th International Summer School for Jain Studies. So we are inviting application for this program from the students and scholars all over the world. And last date for this program is also 20th March. And then the 6th Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship Program, and the last date of application is 20th May. All the details are available at our website. So interested persons are requested to please visit our website. One good news I would like to share with you all is that Mr. Harshit Misra, who just recited Navkar month in his beautiful voice and was a participant of our last year 9-month Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship Program, is one of the 4 lucky persons in India who just qualified University Grant Commission National Eligibility Test for PhD in Prakrit. From all over the India, only 4 students are qualified for this program. And I am glad to inform you all that Mr. Harshit Misra is one of them. Currently, he is working with us for Prakrit and Apabhransh projects. So I congratulate on behalf of ISGS, behalf of all of you, I congratulate Mr. Harshit Misra for this achievement. Thank you once again. I welcome you all to this virtual platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. Thank you so much for welcoming us and introducing the programs. And so I would now request Dr. Rekha Jain to begin her talk on contribution of Jainism to Ayurveda in front of this august audience. Rekha ji.
Thank you very much. Before starting the lecture, I would also like to pray a prayer, appropriate prayer. Moksha margasya netaram, bhetaram karma bhruvrutam, jnataram vishwatattvanam, vande tadguna labdhaye. Ajnanatimirandhanam, jnananjana shalakaya, चक्षुरुन्मिलितम येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. मीनिंग सबको आपको मालूम ही है. आई एम वेरी मच थैंकफुल टू द chairperson and director and all the members of the ISGS committee for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on the subject contributions of Jainism to Ayurveda. As it is, Jainism is very vast and Ayurveda science is also very vast. But I will try to concise it in important 3 points. First is what is Jainism, in short, the part which is related to Ayurveda. The second, what is Ayurveda? And the third, the contribution of principles of Jainism to Ayurveda. I will concise in this way, and I will start now with Jainism. What is Jainism? Actually, all elite people here know what is Jainism, etc. But you know, there are 2 cultures, original cultures of India. One is Shraman and other one is Brahman or Vedic culture. तो ये जो श्रमण कल्चर है उसमें ही अपने जैन रिलीजन्स के रूट्स दिखते हैं.
Excuse me, madam. May I request you to please explain in English only because we have our.
I prepared it in Hindi actually.
Yeah.
I thought ki it is in Hindi. So I will explain both way, Hindi and English, both way. So no problem. The essence of Jainism is seen in Shraman culture. What is Shraman culture? In phrase Shraman, there are 3 words. Sama, yani equality, Shama and Shrama. Sama means equality, equanimity, empathy. Then is समभाव, हिंदी में जिसको कहते हैं समभाव, समता, आत्मौपम्य भाव, संस्कृत में उसको कहते हैं आत्मौपम्य भाव, एम्पैथी. तो ये सम है. दूसरा है कंट्रोल ओवर पैशंस, शम यानी पैसिफिकेशन ऑफ पैशंस, कंट्रोल ओवर पैशन. और थर्ड जो है, एक कंट्रोल ओवर पैशन इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज you know, rag, lobh, moh, mad, matsar, these are the rivals of our human beings, and this samsara is going on because of that. So control over these passions is very difficult. It requires shrama or sadhana. Which is sadhana? Shrama is very important point because all sadhana includes, and shrama includes Jain philosophy. It starts with Shat Avashyak because these are the Sanskrit words. And Shat Avashyak. Shat Avashyak means Dev Puja, Guru Pasti, Sanyamas Tapaha, Swadhyaya Sanyamas Tapaha, Danam Cha. ऐसा describe किया है. It is described in Jain Grantha. And after that, Anuvratas, Mahavratas, then Samyak Darshan, knowledge of Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnan, Samyak Charitra. After that comes Mahavrata, then Pratima, then uske baad Gunasthan, and finally last Vrat is Yama Sallekhana Vrata, and after that Nirvan. This is in detail. These points, if you describe in detail, that is Jainism. That is Jain philosophy as a whole. According to our Indian cultures, the aim of our life is dharma, artha, काम and moksha. ऐसा बोला है. धर्मार्थ काम मोक्षाणाम आरोग्यम मूल उत्तम, ऐसा बोला है. कि ये जो 4 फैक्टर्स है, रिलीजन या धर्म. धर्म यानी व्हाट इज धर्म? there is an elaborate definition of dharma. There is a lot of description about dharma. Dharyate iti dharma, dhru dharanat dharma. These are Sanskrit words. Na? So we have to learn that also. So which holds self also and which holds society also is a dharma. In short, according to Jainism, there is a Ratnantraya dharma, Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnana Charita. This is also a dharma. Dasha dharma, they have described Dasha types of and 10 types of dharma. That is forgiveness, etc. Kshama, Mardava, Arjo, Satya, Shaucha. These are also there. Again, there is the Raja dharma. There is the Pitru dharma, Matru dharma, Putra dharma. इस तरह से Indian philosophy describes all types of dharma. But here, in short, we can say good conduct or ethical conduct is a dharma. And artha, what is artha? Artha, common meaning is earning money for daily needs. But अकॉर्डिंग टू निश्चय, जैसे बोलते हैं कि जीवन का अर्थ क्या है, इस तरह का, यानी अल्टीमेट एम ऑफ आवर लाइफ, दैट इज ऑल्सो अर्थ. इट इज इंक्लूडेड इन द डेफिनेशन. एंड अर्निंग मनी, व्यवहार जिसको बोलते हैं अर्निंग मनी, बट इट शुड बी बाय एथिकल वे, नॉट बाय चोरी करके या ये करके. अर्निंग मनी शुड बी एथिकल वे. That is artha. And the third mean, according to Ayurveda, is indriyartha. They have used the word indriyartha. Indriyartha means essence of that sense organ is called indriyartha. And that is very important because indriya or organ is there. Some blind people has organ is there, but he can't see. That looking or that knowledge of object is a essential thing, and that is the essence of organ, and that is called in Ayurveda indriyartha. So indriyartha, protection of indriyartha is very important. Artha, then come desire. One should fulfill the desire, because for common people, for Shravak, desires are there and they should be fulfilled, but it should be fulfilled ethically, not as it is. So that is also important. Kama, because desires are increasing. One desire fulfilled, other arises, third arises, fourth arises. So it should be ethically fulfilled. So that is the desire. And fourth, after all these things, dharma, artha, kam, we should go towards the moksha. Moksha means away from all karmas and achieving ultimate, that is mukti, moksha, and away from this life and death chakra, the cycle of life and death. So it should be there, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. And for that, it requires good health. And for that, according to Ayurveda, Jainism, there is a definition of Ayurveda and a description of Ayurveda, which is called Pranavaya Chikitsa. Pranavaya Ahimsatmak Chikitsa. That is a speciality of Jainism. When it is started from Adinath Tirthankar. When the chakra was moving, the cycle was moving from Bhoga Bhumi to Karma Bhumi. There was increasing population, and people were not knowing how to prepare food, which is the good food, like that. And that's why they were suffering, and the diseases were increased. So Bharat Chakravarti with his disciples went to Samosharan of Adinath Tirthankar, and he prayed for the solution. And that time, with Divya Vani, everything was spread, and that is taken by Ganadharaj. And Ganadharaj, he gave it to Pratiganadhar, and that Divya Vani is called Dvadashangavani. And in Dvadashangavani, there are two types. One is Anga and Purva. So in Drishtivad Anga, there is 12th Purva, which is known as Pranavaya Pravad or Pranavaya Chikitsa. This is the origin according to Jainism. And these references are present in many old Jain literature, even in Gomatasar Jeev Kand, जीव प्रदीपिका संस्कृत ग्रंथ, अगेन इन बेलगोला, समन बेलगोला शिलालेख या inscriptions, in many hand scripts the references are there. Even in excavation of Harappan and Mohenjo-daro culture, there are figures of leaves and pestle and mortar like that. So that is that tells that represents the presence of Ayurveda here. This is a known as a pranavaya chikitsa. What is pranavaya chikitsa? According to Jainism, pranavaya chikitsa means our body is formed with 10 pranas, 10 important. आज की भाषा में बोल सकते हैं 10 vital points. So these vital points are very important because they cannot be changed, they cannot be replaced, and if there is an injury to these pran, we can lose our jeev, our life. So it is very important, these 10 pranas. And these 10 pranas, they include internal system also and external system also. How? See, these 10 pranas are first in mana, vachan, kaya. According to our literature, that means mind. Mana means mind. Mind is very important because mana eva manushyanam sukha-dukkhasya karanam. ऐसा कहा है कि मन ही हैप्पीनेस फील करता है, मन ही पेन फील करता है, इसलिए माइंड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, उसको इंक्लूड किया है. सेकंड इज मन वचन. वचन मीन्स शब्द, शब्द मीन्स साउंड, साउंड मीन्स हार्ट साउंड, पल्स साउंड, लंग्स साउंड, इंटरनल सभी साउंड उसमें आ सकते. तो मन वच काय. काय मीन्स एक्सटर्नल बॉडी, जिसको पुद्गल बॉडी कहते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू जैनिज्म. सो दीज आर मन वच काय, दीज 3 प्राण. अगेन 5 इंद्रिय यानी पंच प्राण. पंच प्राण यानी 5 सेंस ऑर्गन्स, वो भी अपने एक्सटर्नल बॉडी में इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. 8 हो गए. और लास्ट 2 जो है वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, श्वास और आयु. ऐसे कहा है, श्वास और आयु मीन्स respiratory system, cardiac system, and the span of whole life, how to prevent diseases for the body, like that. Ayu karma, or we can include karma siddhant also here. So in this way, these 10 pranas are very important, and they say how to protect them, how to protect these 10 pranas, because this is internal systems and external systems, both are there. So life is very important both way, right from mind, soul, and external organs, etc. So for that purpose, they suggest first the proper diet, that according to Ayurvedic language, ahar and vihar, they give very much importance to ahar vihar in pranavaya chikitsa also. Then second thing, for the mind, swadhyay or chanting, they have given importance to this also. Third thing, nisarga sanidhya, yani you should be in nature or in contact with nature. Always you should be in contact. Again, they say vyayam or yoga, exercise, that is also important. Again, they say meditation. The last thing is meditation, yani dhyan. These are the important points to maintain the health. That is, according to Ayurveda, swasthasya swasthya rakshanam. This is very important. First stage is swasthasya swasthya rakshanam, and second stage is aturasya vyadhi parimoksha. Means prevention is better than cure. इसलिए स्वस्थ से स्वास्थ्य करो और बाद में चिकित्सा, रोगों की चिकित्सा यानी treatment of diseases. In this way, pranavaya Ayurveda chikitsa, ahimsaत्मक chikitsa helps to prevent diseases. So that's why it has a very importance. And all these things are included in pranavaya chikitsa. Even nowadays, our Muni and Acharyas, they take Vaiyavritti, and the base is this pranavaya chikitsa. Even Mahatma Gandhi suggested naturopathy or Nisarga. They have suggested Nisargopachar, that means naturopathy, and the base was ahimsa, non-violence. And he suggested to Manibhai Desai, सबसे पहले He started naturopathy at Urali Kanchan near Pune. So the base was Pranavaya Chikitsa. It is modified different way. Pranayam started, then herbal chikitsa started, and then naturopathy started. But the base was pranavaya ahimsatmak chikitsa to prevent the diseases. This is one part. And the second part is how treatment should be done. So aturasya vyadhi परीक्षा आतुरस्य व्याधि चिकित्सा तो कैसी होनी चाहिए? अहिंसात्मक चिकित्सा को प्रमोशन दे दिया है जैनिज्म में, यानी दे वांट टू ट्रीट पेशेंट विथ नॉन वायलेंट materials, non-violent medicines. That is very important. And so they have written many compendium. I will go to this part, Aturasya Vyadhi Chikitsa, afterwards. Before that, I want to tell you about what is Ayurveda. Ayusha Veda, as he told, ki life science. Ki Ayusha means life and Veda means knowledge. Knowledge of life is Ayusha Veda. According to Jainism, they have differently defined Ayusha Veda. Ved means knowledge, लेकिन केवल ज्ञान इस तरह का, यानी वैद्य किस तरह का वैद्य होना चाहिए, how what are the qualities of वैद्य. He said कि he should be knowledge of disease means केवल ज्ञान according to Jain Ayurveda. So that is the definition. But in Ayurveda, they have said Ayusha Veda and how should be the life. Not only Ayusha Veda, hita hitam sukham dukkham, ayustasya hita hitam, manam cha tatra yatroktam, Ayurveda sa uchyate. Ayurveda defined it as what is hitakara means wholesome life, what is unhappy life means unwholesome life, what is pain and what is pleasure they have described, and how to go for that they have described in Ayurveda Shastra. So that is called Ayurveda. So he said ki hitahitam sukham dukkham ayustasya hitahitam मानम च तत्र यत्रोक्तम आयुर्वेद स उच्यते. इस तरह के आयुर्वेद की डेफिनेशन आयुर्वेद शास्त्र में संस्कृत में की है. लेकिन हाउ टू प्रिवेंट डिसीजेस अकॉर्डिंग टू आयुर्वेदा, दैट मीन्स अगेन स्वस्थस्य स्वास्थ्य रक्षणम, दे गिव इम्पोर्टेंस टू डेली रेजिमेन. डेली रेजिमेन मीन्स दिनचर्या. From morning to evening, what should we do? What should we eat? What should we work, like that? So there are so many things where the impact of non-violence is there. You know, as a definition of non-violence, according to Jainism, they give very much importance to ahimsa. So everywhere there is ahimsa or non-violence. And the definition is pramatta yogat prana vyaparopanam himsa. इस तरह की डेफिनेशन संस्कृत में की है कि भाई योर इंटेंशन टू किल ये इज नॉट ओनली दैट, but even thinking of killing animals or thinking of giving pain to others or promoting others to give pain or take life like that, that's also a himsa. And there are, with permutation and combination, nearly 108 types of himsa is described in Jain philosophy. So I will not go into the detail, but how it is used in Ayurveda Chikitsa, that is very important. In Bhagavad and Charak Grantha, even for the beginning, in introduction, they have written specifically कि while developing Ayurveda and writing compendium on Ayurveda, they have taken the help of Astik Darshan and Nastik Darshan. In Nastik Darshan, especially Jainism and Buddhism, they have taken the help. So this means there is a lot of contribution for Jain philosophy into the development of Ayurveda. So in Dinacharya, they start from morning to evening with early morning, the prayer. It should be started with prayer for the purification of mind. So there is also an impact of ahimsa or non-violence. So you become your mind, you do your mind pure and then start your working. Even for teething or for brushing, they said minutely they have described how to do teething, how to eat, how to drink, like that. So for teething also, the powders or the material used should be non-violent. They have specifically told it. And after that, the important thing is our diet or our daily regime gives importance to mainly ahar vihar, that is diet, and that should be sattvic, huh? Because the qualities of mind are sattva, raja, and tama. So Ayurveda give promotion or importance to sattvic guna. That's why for the nourishment of sattvic or sattva gun or purity, they suggest vegetarian diet. And in vegetarian diet, they have specially mentioned in Ayurveda Shastra, every thing, every constituent should be non-violent. And that qualities are described in one of the subject that is called Dravya Guna Shastra. And for the each part of our diet should be non-violent, and what are the qualities of that thing are described in Dravya Guna Shastra. They have used a non-violent system. So, for the diet, they say, Ahar Shuddhav Sattva Shuddhav Dhruva Smriti, Lambhe Sarva Granthinam Vipramoksha. So, importance is given to purity of diet, because pure diet nourishes your sattva gun or mind. It nourishes all the internal systems, and that's why it increases your memory also and internal systems, and that creates your hormones, your secretions in normal conditions, which helps to prevent diseases and gives a good health. So they have they say Ahar Shuddhav Sattva Shuddhav Dhruva Smriti. Smriti means memory and internal parts of brain. And Smriti Lambhe Sarva Granthinam means hormonal glands. स्मृति लंबे सर्व ग्रंथि नाम मोक्ष विप्रमोक्ष, वो सिक्रीशंस नॉर्मल होंगे. इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंस इज गिवन टू शाकाहार वेजिटेरियन डाइट, एंड उसमें भी सात्विक आहार को ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दिया है. उसके बाद जो दिनचर्या उन्होंने बताई है, उसमें भी इन वाग्भट ग्रंथ they have described daily regime in which there is an impact of anuvrata. They say himsa steya anyatha kamam paishunyam purushanrute samminta alapa vyapadam mithya druk viparyam papakarma dashadha kaya vang manasatajit. And 10 types of pap or bad things should be avoided. That means himsa. Which are the 10 things? Himsa means violence, then chori, stealing, then vyabhichar, any relation with other ladies, then bad things, then jealousy. All these things should be avoided. It suggests that there is an impact of anuvrata. So they have taken this, and they say Atmavat Satatam Pashyet कीट पीपीलिकानी, यानी जो समभाव बोला है, आत्मवत सततम पश्चित, यानी दूसरे को जो कीट पीपीलिकानी स्मॉल जर्म्स हो, स्मॉल एंड्स जैसे जर्म्स हो, उसका सोल और हमारा एक जैसा है, अपने जैसे समझो. इस तरह का संदेश वाग्भट ग्रंथ, चरक ग्रंथ में वो देते हैं. तो यहाँ भी इम्पैक्ट ऑफ नॉन वायलेंस दिखता है. यानी डेली रेजिम में अपना आहार विहार, यानी खाना पीना, काम करना, और बाकी लोगों का, यानी लीव एंड लेट लीव को इम्पोर्टेंस देते हैं. लीव एंड लेट लीव इसको इम्पोर्टेंट दिया है. इसके बाद इस नॉन वायलेंस का इस्तेमाल करने के लिए सभी आचार्यों ने जैन ग्रंथ, जैन औषधि ग्रंथों का भी निर्माण किया है.
Madam, may I request you to proceed in English only. I am receiving messages from
Because
my
I'm
overseas
both
friends.
I'm telling, because
Yeah,
Ayurveda is in
yeah.
Sanskrit.
Actually, I am
And
receiving messages from our overseas friends. So
okay,
that's
okay.
my
Because
humble
both
request.
are there, na? Both are there. Sanskrit word is also telling, and I'm English word is also telling. Because Sanskrit shlokas are in Sanskrit in Ayurveda.
No, no.
So I have to say like
My
that.
request is only for explanation. Sanskrit sutras are okay. Only for
I'm
explanation.
Sutra, and I'm
Yeah.
telling meaning in English, no doubt. So even for the work, also they say ki preparation of alcohol, then distributing alcohol, drinking alcohol, they avoid. And alcohol is a symbol कि जिसमें जीव जंतु है, यानी जहाँ जीव किलिंग ऑफ लाइफ होता है, यू अवॉइड दैट. So they say actually आदर संतातना त्यागः कायवाक् चेतसां मनः स्वार्थ बुद्धि परार्थेषु पर्याप्तम इति सद्वृत्तम. यानी सद्वृत्त यानी अच्छा लाइफ यानी डेली रेजिम, इसके लिए वो बोलते कि आर्द्र संतानतः त्याग, यानी जहाँ जीव हत्या होती है वो अवॉइड करो. लाइफ किलिंग होता है वो इस तरह का काम, इस तरह का वर्क अवॉइड करो, ये दिया है. फिर ये तो डेली रेजिम के बारे में हुआ. और मेनी जैन आचार्यास दे हैव रिटन compendium in English, in Sanskrit, but they contain non-violent method of treatment. So they have prepared many compendium like Pushpa Ayurveda, in which there are 18,000 flowers are used for preparing the medicine. And these flowers are sterile. There is no further creation as such. And these flowers which are fell down, and that flowers are used for the medicine, and they are there in Girsappa fall, near Girsappa fall in the jungle. And they say there are many legendary stories are famous. They say ki these Pushpaushadhi, they used it like the preparations are used like vaccines. They made Sarvanjan. This is a preparation, and the method of Sarvanjan is written in Pushpa Ayurveda. But what happened? There is a lot of description about Pushpa Ayurveda in Jain Compendium also, in Ayurvedic old literature also, but the original compendium is not yet found. But people say कि there is a study going on and research going on Siri Bhuvale, as all of you know. It is written by Kumadendu Muni, and it is in code language again, and that code decoding is in Kannada again. So in the studies and researchers are going in Indore also and in Bangalore also. I am connected to Bangalore. And what is there actually, the first khanda is decoded, but in that there is a lot of description about the plants. We can say it like a botany, but there is no description of Shastra, Ayurveda science as such. But the intellectuals and decoding persons are saying ki it may be in Chaturtha Khanda, where the Ashtanga of Ayurveda is described. So this is a Pushpa Ayurveda, but the known compendium which is available is Kalyan Karakam, in which there are non-violent medicines are prepared, used, and this is practically used in everywhere. And what happened about the Kalyan Karakam? The story is like this: ki these pranavaya chikitsa were they were conducting in different centers known as Kalyana Karakam centers, and the original compendium was in Ardhamagdi. So what happened, that original compendium was not available, but many hand scripts were available in Mysore library, research library, in Shravan Belgola library, and in Raichur library. Some are found in Bombay, AP Saraswati Bhavan, and the Vikhyat Dharmaveer, Udyogpati, industrialist Rauje Sakharam Doshi, he asked one Vidwan, Vardhaman Shastri, who knows Kannada. He brought all these four hand scripts and made a rewriting and famous Vaidya that time, Ananta Rajendra and Gunesh Shastri, they helped them to write and convert it into Kalyan Karakam Grantha. Now it is available. In 1940, the first edition was published, and now second edition is also published. And the importance of Kalyan Karakam is that the medicines are without honey, without alcohol, and without flesh. Because afterwards in Ayurveda, these like anupan, and for the effect of medicine, they use this honey and mouse rasa or flesh and alcohol also. So the importance of Kalyan Karak is these medicines are taken without Madhyamausa and Madhu. And second importance is for the after the recovery from disease, it should not again occur. There is one chikitsa called Rasayan Chikitsa. Rasayan Chikitsa, that is a speciality of Kalyana Karakam. In Kalyan Karakam, they have described 8 types of branches of Ayurveda, Ashtanga Ayurveda. It is called Ashtanga Ayurveda. So that is that description is there. They start with what should be the qualities of physician or Vaidya, what should be the qualities of patient, what should be the qualities of nurses, and what could be the qualities of medicine. They have described. These are 4 important pillars of Ayurveda Chikitsa, and how they should be. The description is given in Kalyan Karakam. Even in Rasayan Chikitsa, they say they prevent diseases, they maintain your young life, and there will be no disease again. But the process of Rasayan Chikitsa is very long, and it requires research on that. So Rasayan Chikitsa, then there is Panchakarma Chikitsa, there is Agni Chikitsa, there is a lot of other types of Kshara Chikitsa. All the Chikitsa or parts of treatment are described in Kalyan Karakam Granth. And these are the base is non-violence. So these are the important, with this, many Jainacharyas, they have written on Rasa Shastra. The medicines are prepared from mercury and sulfur is the base, and metals and non-metals are used for the preparation of drugs. So it is non-violent again. So many Jainacharyas, they have written and contributed the branch of Rasa Shastra, which is called in Ayurveda, and many compendium of Rasa Shastra has been written by Jainacharya. There is a list of nearly 25 compendium, and their author and the name of all these are available in many of them are available in Bhandarkar Research, Oriental Research Institute, and nowadays I come to know they are making index of that. When I was studying, I had a list of these compendium of 30. Whoever want it, I will send it to them. My phone number is there because it is a time consuming who are the authors. But generally the authors were Samanta Bhadracharya, who were from Karnataka, then Pujya Padacharya, then Ugraditacharya, and many Gomatta Sam, and they have written many compendium on original compendium of Ayurveda, then on Tika Grantha, commentary on that. Then they have written Nigantu, means they have written in Darshanik Shabda, yani Jain philosophical words. They have used Jain philosophical words, so they have made a dictionary of that, which is called Nigantu. Nigantu have written by Jainacharyas. So many are available, and I think they are available in LD Institute of Indology in Ahmedabad also, and in August also, maybe there some hand scripts or something available. These are the description given in Ayurveda compendium. So maybe even these hand scripts are present in each and every old temples There are Saraswati Bhavan, and many hand scripts are present in Saraswati Bhavan, and maybe Ayurveda hand scripts may be there. Such is the information. And so this is the contribution of non-violence ahimsa tattva to Ayurveda. Writing compendium, giving instructions for daily regimen, and sama tattva, that equality of mind, preparation of pure mind, like that. So this is a contribution of ahimsa. The second contribution, all over the world, Jainism is known by three important principles, as you know: non-violence, then anekantavad. So second contribution to Ayurveda is from Anekantavad. And this is very important because the basic principles of Ayurveda, like Panchabhautik Siddhanta, or this creation of universe, then Tridosha Siddhanta, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, these are the basic constituent of body. And how they are formed, there these principles are decided by Anekanta way. So there were discussions about how this creation of universe taken place. So there is a, they say, there is one, yeah, कि स्वभाव है, 5-6 यानी सब इम्पोर्टेंट, ये जब बैठते थे तो उनकी डिस्कशन होता था कि हाउ दिस क्रिएशन ऑफ इट, दिस है स्वभावम ईश्वरम कालम यदृच्छाम नियतिम तथा परिणामंच मन्यन्ते प्रकृति पृथ्वीदर्शिन्या. यानी द इंडियन फिलोसॉफीज लाइक षड दर्शन स्वभाववादी से कि स्वभाव कारण होगा, ईश्वर कारण होगा, यानी गॉड क्रिएटेड इट, टाइम क्रिएटेड इट, और इच्छा से हो गया, नियति से हो गया, इस तरह की they were discussing and they were fighting. But finally the chairperson concluded and he said कि no, we have to combine it, समन्वय होना चाहिए और फिर डिसीजन होनी चाहिए. इस तरह के जो बेसिक सिद्धांत है उसमें पांचभौतिक सिद्धांत ने एवरीथिंग इज पांचभौतिक, यानी पृथ्वी, आप, तेज, वायु, आकाश, दीज आर दी आयुर्वेदिक वर्ड्स की इस पंचमहाभूतों से ही सृष्टि की निर्मित है. Macrocosm also formed with these Panchamahabhutas, and microcosm means human body is also formed with these Panchamahabhuta. This is the base of Ayurvedic system. And they said, and that's why the nature, everything from nature is useful for the curing the body, like that. So that is a Panchabhautik Siddhant, Tridosha Siddhant. And for the creation of pregnancy also, there were so many opinions. One said कि शुक्र शनित संयोगा means ovum and sperm is important. Others said no, how ये important, but soul should be there. Third said कि no, nutrition should be proper. Fourth said कि mind should be there. Like that, discussions were going on, fighting were there. But that time, the chairperson, the Rishi Muni, who were expert in Ayurveda, they said no, we have to compromise and we have to conclude take all these 5 points, 6 points, and with these 6 points समन्वय करके ही pregnancy हो जाएगी. यानी about the pregnancy they say anekant view, they take anekant view. After that, for the diagnosis of disease also, there were so many examinations. Ayurveda described Trividha, that means 3 methods of examination. That is darshan, sparshan, prashna. That means examination, observation, then examination by touch. These are important. But they have also included Panchavidha Pariksha, Shadvidha Pariksha. This means 5 examinations, 6 examinations. Finally, we can say pathology, that is Nadi, Mala, Mutra, Jiva, Shabda, Sparsha, Drugakriti, which includes all the pathology. Nadi means pulse, Malamutra means urine, stool, all these examinations. Shabda Sparsha means X-ray, sounds, MRI, all this should be included for the examination, and then finally decision should be taken. This is again Anekanta view of diagnosing the patient. For detailing, again they tell Dashavidha Pariksha, 10 points of examination. That's also important. In that, they say Prakrutitaha Vikrutitaha, means what is the constitution. In Ayurveda, there is lot of importance is given to the constitution. According to constitution, treatment should be given. Not booster doses of antibiotics are like that, because everybody has a different constitution, and according to constitution, you should select the ingredients, you should select the drugs and then give it. So the examination of Prakriti is very important. In Here also they again give importance to non-violence medicines to give according to Prakriti. So Prakrutitaha, Vikrutitaha, Sarataha, Sahanataha. That means how is his capacity to resist disease, how is his capacity to absorb medicine, how is his body to react medicine, where is he staying, how much, what type of diet he is taking, or which is suitable for the patient. Like that, all minute examination should be done. So this is called Dashavidha Pariksha, or 10 important points of examination. Even now also, if you go to physician, they take all the 10 pathology, then physical, different experts' opinion, and then come to the conclusion. That means this is a method of Anekanta view. So this Anekanta view is taken for the diagnosis also and for the treatment also. They said how to treat Dusham Desham Balam Kalam Prakritim Analam Vahaya. Means you should see his constitution, his area, his defected part, and which type of medicine should be given, like that. Together, if you think and give medicine, then only it is useful. Here also, in part of treatment also, they have taken Anekantik view. So this way, there is a contribution of Anekantavad. What are you saying?
I'm saying that we also want to ask some questions to you. So would you please like to conclude it now?
Yeah, I'm concluding it. This is the contribution of me. Again, there is a contributions of Jain community also. Our Muni, Sadhu, Acharyas, they take Ayurvedic treatment only. Even many of the Jain families, they give preference to Ayurvedic treatment. Many Jain solvers, they have donated money to develop Ayurvedic hospitals and Ayurvedic teaching institutions also. This is, I think, also a contributions from Jain community or Jainism to Ayurveda. So in short, there is a contribution by Ahimsa, there is a contribution by equality, basic principle of Jainism. There is a contribution of Anekantavad. There is contribution from society. There is contribution by writing Jain Ayurvedic compendium, which contains medicines prepared non-violently in Ahimsatmak Paddhati, and there is a contribution of Pranavaya Chikitsa. I think this is the conclusion or contribution of Jainism to Ayurveda. So if you have any doubts, you can ask, and we'll go ahead.
Thank you so much, Rekha ji. Thank you so much. There was a lot of information in the lecture. Now, the session is open for discussion. If you have any questions, you can
Sorry,
ask.
because there is a lot of mistakes by me, because the original science is in Sanskrit, and the Jainism is also in Sanskrit and Ardhamagdi and Prakrit. So I thought there is a lecture should be in Hindi. So I tried to explain it in something in English also, and some slokas in reference slokas in Sanskrit also. You can go ahead for the questions and answers.
Rekha ji, there are a couple of questions in the chat box.
Okay.
One question is this: is there any view on Iambil in Ayurveda? Iambil.
Iambil. What you said?
Yes, Iambil. Is there any view on Iambil in Ayurveda?
It is not named as Iambil, but in liquid diet, whenever you do fast, you can go for the Iambil for the purity of mind, like that. But not specific word is used. They say fasting or upavas, like that. They say, and nowadays, Upas, you know, there is a fasting and importance is given to fasting and intermittent fasting. And there is a description about Vrata and Vaikalya in Pranavaya Chikitsa. But they have not used the specific word Ayambil as such.
And is there, have you heard of the text Joni Pahod? Is it is it on Ayurveda and is it available? Joni
No.
Pahod. No.
Joni Pahud? No.
Yes.
There are Ashtapahud, but I have not heard about Joni Pahud as such. Because because basic pranavaya chikitsa and many pathies are developed, but original was pranavaya chikitsa, this Ayurveda chikitsa from Atharvaveda actually.
What is the English terminology for Pranavaya Chikitsa?
No, there is no English terminology as such. It is taken as such, pranavaya chikitsa. It is a 10 vital point. We can say vital points, but there is no answer. Treatment of vital points, 10 vital points.
Yes, a recent edition of Joni Pahud was published by Professor Rajaram Jain ji. I think just 1 or 2 years ago.
Okay. I have not seen that. Because nowadays there are so many modifications, but I have not gone through it.
Any
Because
other
there,
question?
accordingly, that is not the original compendium. I am saying about the original compendium of Jainism and original compendium of Ayurveda. Charak Sushrut nowadays, they have teaching Charak Sushrut and Vagbhat.
Actually, Joni Pahud is also an original compendium. And a recent version with translation and editing was published by Rajaram ji.
Okay. I have not seen it, and it was not in the colleges or in teaching institution. I think so, because I'm retired now from there. But when I was professor, this compendium was not there in the library also. Even
There is
in Bhandarkar Institute also, there was not such a compendium.
Ma'am, there is a question.
Which is that compendium again? Tell me.
Joni Pahud.
Joni Pahud, and recently
Joni Pahud.
Yogesh ji has posted here in chat.
Ashtapahud are there, but
no, Joni Pahud, and last year, see, Yogesh Shah ji has posted in chat box. Rajaram ji got,
where it is available, this Joni?
Bhandarkar. It's in Bhandarkar, he says.
Okay. Nowadays, maybe.
Samni ji is asking, can you list out the books on Jain Ayurveda, like Kalyan Karkam and all? I think you did mention.
Kalyan Karak is available at Solapur. They have published recently, and there is a list of compendium like Siddhanta Rasayan Kalpa Ugratitya, Nidan Muktavali Pujyapad, Madan Kamana Ratna Pujyapad, Yogaratna Chintamani Harshakirti Suri. Then Merudanda Tantra Gummat Zev Muni, Yoga Ratna Mala Vritti Acharya Gunasuri. I will give, there is a list of 25 compendium.
And are these books available, ma'am?
Some are available in Bhandarkar Institute. A description is available, and some are not available.
Okay.
But the list is there. List is available. The description is available, but original compendium was not available that time. I don't know now. Latest position, I don't know.
Okay. And there is another question. There are some roots which are mentioned in Ayurveda, like Ashwagandha and other commonly used. These are roots, but Jains do not use roots. Then what is the Jainism view on it?
But there are some sanskar, you avoid it then. If you are purely you wanted to follow Jainism and roots are not used, because they say there are a lot of ekendri, but कम से कम अहिंसा होनी चाहिए, इसलिए you can use it, you purify it and use it, and you can use that stem also, not root.
Okay.
Sometimes you can use stem, sometimes you can use leaves also. That's also important. There are sanskar.
Sir, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है. Sir, we cannot hear you.
मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही?
हाँ, अभी आ रही है.
Yes. So, madam, it means Jain Ayurveda permits the intake of roots.
as a medicine you can take it. You decide yourself, na. It's not a permission. Philosophy is there. You avoid as far as possible. Himsa should be
Then-
avoided. So you can alternative for that. You don't use root, then you use leaves, or you use stem. You can change like that, or dry roots, not fresh roots.
So then how Jain Ayurveda differs from Charak Samhita, Susrit Samhita, these different Ayurveda
Because
texts?
afterwards, Jain Ayurvedic compendium only they have mentioned about the Pranavaya Chikitsa and the base. Huh? But in Charak and Shushrut, they have taken advanced view according to the community or nature or Kala Parivartan, like that. So they have used Madhyam Aus and Madhu also as a Anupan. And medicine ke saath you can use it. This is the difference between our ahimsatmak chikitsa paddhati and this charak shushrut, etc. Because they were using, they are advising Mausaras also sometimes if needed for emergency, like that. But Jain
Ma'am,
Ayurveda does not permit to take Mausaras or Madhya or ye. They have generally instructed in daily regime ki you avoid himsa. You avoid himsa. So it depends upon your own thinking ki what should we take. Our acharyas, they don't take. Our
all right.
Muni, they don't take. But our Shravak, whenever necessary, they try to minimize the himsa and they take. But they avoid Madhyamamsa Madhu, definitely.
All right.
And dry roots are allowed, like Shunthi Churna. Adrak we avoid, but Shunthi we can take, dry roots. So you can use Ashwagandha dried, roots dried, completely dried roots.
Ma'am, the list that you just read out about the books, is it possible for us to have that list?
I will send it to you on WhatsApp, photograph, and you can spread it, or whosoever is needed, you contact me. I will send it to WhatsApp on whole list about the compendium. And we
Thank
have to
you.
search it, because recently I also contacted, because I'm connected to Ladies Ayurved College at Tilwara Ghat, Jabalpur, and some people, they wanted to see this. So one of the person that he come to meet, Amruta is there, na, and he met her and he wanted to see the list, but it was under preparation, I think, and so we'll see. I will send the list, and interested people can contact and see there. Yeah, because I found lot of description is there, but original compendium is very difficult, because it may be in manuscript form or hand script, or I don't know, but that may be there.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have
Yeah,
one question.
okay.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I think Ayurveda talked about three types of diseases. But it's a disease, it seemed like suffering. One is, I think, Adhyatmic. Second is
Yeah.
Adi Bhautik and Adi Devik. So, and
Yeah.
yes, three type diseases. So
Huh.
this diseases is related to Jaina philosophy or indicate some this
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of
yeah.
suffering.
Yeah,
And
they have to.
we also find out three types of a way, matlab three types of treatment. Like I think one is a Dava Chikitsa, Satvaja. So it is also related to Jaina philosophy, three types of a treatment, three types of a
Yeah.
suffering.
Always there, because Sattva Gun is very important. I told as Sattvic Ahar, Sattvic medicines to increase your mental resistance, one thing. And in addition to modern science or other pathies, Jainism has described Karmaja Vyadhi. Karmaja Vyadhi. Both importance is given. I was working with ICMR, and that time we were working on leukoderma, white patches, Svitra Kushta it is called, and with the modern units also from Sassoon Hospital and KM Hospital. And that time we were, and modern doctors also were searching for the cause. And they said that millennium formation is deficient, like that. But why it is deficient? So Ayurveda gave answer ki this is a karmaja vyadhi. It is because of karma. It can happen. It can go also, because not there is no specific treatment as such today also, because they inject a millennium temporarily, but production is not there. So the karmaja, they have given importance to karmaja vyadhi. So
Ma'am, there
adhibhautik,
is-
adhyatmic, like that. So there adhyatmic chikitsa is useful, pranavaya chikitsa is useful to increase your mental resistance. Then only can, even corona, we saw ki whosoever with strong mental resistance, they have not suffered, they have not taken even vaccines, and who were afraid of epidemic, they started suffering from corona, like corona disease, and it was spreading. So mental capacity, mental resistance is very important, and Jainism given importance to mental resistance. And in total pranavaya chikitsa, they concentrate on mental resistance. And in disease chikitsa, they have taken non-violent chikitsa.
Ma'am, there is this, what about mushrooms and fungus? Does
Not
Jainism
allowed.
allow
Not
it?
allowed in Jainism, because there are some germs, known germs are there, and so avoid it. The qualities of mushroom and the qualities of fungus, we can search in other food, regular food, and you can give that, like proteins. Eggs are high proteins, but even dal, the tur dal, pulses, they contain higher protein. So take higher protein. You search for Jain Ayurveda tells you search for alternative for that.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think we are running out of time and there are no more comments. So I would now request our president, Dr. Shugan Sanji, to deliver his comments.
I would like to say that if somebody has doubts, they can also contact me afterwards also on phone, and I will solve their problems or help them.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Professor Rekha Jain. I am really thankful to you to learn a lot of, to acquire a lot of knowledge about medicine in Jain literature. Basically, I will just try to summarize what you have said here. See the science, pranayama means science of life. And we say that this is one of the 14 purvas.
Yeah.
Was one called, pranavaya, in which there was some description of science of life. Now that is extinct. So that we say was contained in the 12th yang Drashtivad to some extent.
Yeah.
That is extinct. So then there are later on some acharya like Ugraditacharya and some say
Samantabhadracharya.
No. They developed this Kalyan Karaks, in which they tried to, it looks that they tried to, infer the things which were indicated in pranayama because they were not available. And then Samantabhadra and Pujyapat, to my knowledge, they wrote these before they accepted asceticism. The reason I say is that in Jain philosophy, we hardly find any, or rather, Jain sadhus and monks, they are not allowed to talk of, the body, treatment of body, because the objective is, like you said, in dharma, arth, kam, and moksha. The aim is moksha, so the others, everything is related to that. So it was considered as if talking of the body is a heretic science. So most of the, acharyas did not write anything. But there are indications in Jain philosophy which are preventive. That is, Jain philosophy believes that you should not fall sick. And then for curative, like, the Nirjara, we have some, what you call external penances and internal penances. If you see the external penances, we have Anshan, Unodri, and Ras Parityag. These, I think, are the things that you practice to, get your physical system better so that you can concentrate on your mission of life. And the question that somebody asked for I am Bill, it comes from Anshan, detailed description of Anshan. Now, this is about the history. Now, in Jain philosophy, the term jiva itself, from the practical point of view, you call as prani also. Prani, from pranayam, prani. And then we say who is a prani? Who has some life vitalities. Like you said, span, breathing, mind, body, and speech, and the five senses. And then we talk of paryaptis and aparyaptis. That is, there are, these are some people are, some jivas are, pranis are blessed with these as completions, others are not. And this all we relate to the karma doctrine. If we see in karma doctrine, we have two special karmas, Ayu karma, which determines the lifespan, and the other is a Nam karma. When you talk of the constitution of the body, the Nam karma with 98 variants, it gives detailed description of our body, the structure of body, the bones, the joints, the strength, etc., and how to make them stronger or better with the penances. So this is the background of this thing. Now, as you said rightly, that Jainism, the main practice is, the main guiding point is ahimsa. How to minimize violence. The more ahimsak we are, the healthier both physically and spiritually we are. So all our practices are, geared around these, and there is a well described, lifestyle. The first point, as I know, is that we say purity, like of even water, that what type of water we should consume, because food we say, कि जैसे कहते हैं जैसा खाओ अन्न वैसा बने मन. So the food is the biggest factor of all our illnesses besides the past karmas. So there is a big stress and procedure given of what type of water you should take. Then we talk of, udambar phal jo hote hain na, the what type of fruits you should not eat, which are infested with these things. Then we have abstinences. What are the wrong things you should not do so that your mental system is all right, like subtwesan jisko kehte hain aapko. So, and then we have the obligatory duties, shat avashyak. Every day, if you perform these things, then the chances of inauspicious karmas, we say, which is the cause of sickness, they are minimized, and you earn the auspicious karma. That is good karma, so that you will stay physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy. And then, it is followed by what you call anuvrata, as you said, all those things are there. So Jain philosophy, I think, as far as medical science is concerned, it gives you indications how, what you should do, how should live to be healthy. And then, because medical science, to my opinion, was considered as a heretic science for sadhus, so people like me and us, the Shravakas, who are very keen, learners and knowledge people, they wrote a lot of literature on medical science, inferred from that, and of course they borrowed from description from the Ayurveda also. To the extent that today, I feel one of the first preferences of Jain lay people is to be a doctor, medical doctor. And you will see that the most large number of Jains adopt and they excel in those things. And it is there when you talk to them, you see the impact of Jain philosophy in them. The type of medicine they will give, the type of treatment they give. And then it is also on the practitioner, how knowledgeable they are. Like I'll say, to the extent that some people who are very knowledgeable, they will not use capsules because it has gelatin. You talk of, root vegetables. I know we don't take root vegetables, but haldi and salt we take, which are nothing but, root vegetables. So there are ways how we can use them, but not for taste for the body, but for curing the ills of the body. Our ultimate objective in Jain philosophy is, dharma, earth, calm, and moksha. These don't get stuck at earth only, or don't get stuck at the calm. Whatever we do, like, you talk of leprosy. I read a lot and wrote a lot on Manasundri. And the story of Manasundri is nothing but the treatment of her fiancé who had leprosy, and the 105 of his soldiers who got leprosy, and they were thrown out of the town by the mother, Queen Mother, and then she treated them with, the spiritual, procedures, and also some of the trees, plants she used to take and put a, this thing on that thing. So such description we find, but they are inferential. I think, like Saman Bhadra, he treated himself from Bhasma Roga, but he did it after, giving up his monkhood. He became a householder and then he did it. Similarly, Pujya Pad, Padlipt, he had the science, he has developed a medicine that you put on the feet and you could fly or something like this. But he did not write in any of his writing about these things. So this is my feeling that Jainism give you directions, and directions about the structure of your body, the components, and how to keep what are the causes of it going bad besides karma. If we talk of like bondage, band ke jitne karan hote hain, asra band ke, if you minimize the bondage, inauspicious bondage, you will be healthy. So these are the type of indications that we have. To actually do this, do we say this flower or that medicine? These are later on people, they say, but ultimately, like you say, naturopathy. If you perform, if you believe in the Jain philosophy, then you say, I need the body as long as I can pursue my, objective of life. Okay. जैसे मैंने आपने पढ़ते होंगे शांति पाठ में हम जब पढ़ते हैं तो हम उसमें हिंदी में आपको बोलता हूँ कि जब तक ये शिव पद ना मिले, ये मुझे नर शरीर मिलना चाहिए, और जब नर शरीर मिले तो मुझे क्या करना है? सत्संग, शुद्ध अभ्यास, सत्संग, शुद्ध आचरण, शुद्ध अभ्यास और आत्म भावना, ये मुझे करने चाहिए. दिस इज माय ऑब्जेक्टिव. नाउ इफ आई डू इट ऑन ए पीस मील ऑल्सो, I think 80 to 90% of my problems will disappear, physical problems will disappear. So, because stress, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. You talk of, kashay, passion. Passions, emotions, I call them, tainted emotions like anger, etc. These are the root cause of stress. And, and when you are stressed, when you are under these passions, even if you take nectar, it will become poison. So emphasis in Jain philosophy, you will see, is more from the spiritual perspective, that we have to invoke the power of the soul to treat these things. So thank you very much. I learned a lot about the literature that you talk. I cannot say much about this. So, but there are some things like, as because you said about non-violent food. So when I talk of non-violent food, there are arguments. Now people even talk of milk as a violent food, honey, and, fermented food. They are all violent foods. and still we use them to give bath to our idols or other things. But so it is up to you to what extent of the practice of non-violence you use. If you are absolutely non-violent, yes, it is difficult because the surroundings are such, but then you will feel, you will enjoy the beauty of spiritual health, etc. Okay, thank you very much. I really learned a lot about you and about the medical terms and things like this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
It's an
much.
honor.
Thank you. Now I would request Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh to deliver the vote of thanks. Sir, please unmute. Will you please unmute?
Pious duty
Thank you.
to present vote of thanks on this occasion of the 19th lecture on contribution of Jainism to Ayurveda by Professor Dr. Rekha Jain. Dr. Rekha Jain, his main area being Ayurveda, Jain Ayurveda, she beautifully explained the comprehensive explanation, information regarding the various concepts of Jain Ayurveda with the help of the original words occurred in the Jain texts. So ISJS is very, very thankful to Dr. Rekha Jain for her nice speech and informative speech. I also thank our founder and president, chairperson of this session, Professor Dr. Sugandh Chand Jain, who very effectively, in few words, summarized the lecture of Dr. Rekha Jain, and he also gave some practical tips how to maintain health. Then I am very much thankful to our founder, Dr. Sulekh Jain, our management person, Dr. Narendra Parsan, Dr. Nemu Chandaria, and other scholars like Dr. Sanjay Jain, Dr. Ajit Jain, Dr. Prakash Barjatya, and Dr. Sasi Pragya ji, somebody Sasi Pragya ji, Dr. Jinesh Shah, Dr. Gauri Bedkar, and many other scholars, like Dr. Yogesh Shah, made our effort fruitful. I also thank our director, Dr. Snehal Pandey, for welcoming the guests, speaker, and throwing light on the coming programs of ISJS. I also thank Dr. Harshit Misra for beautiful recitation of Mangalacharan, and Dr. Gopal Kudle for all his technical support, and Dr. Pragya Jain for her beautiful conduct of this program. Again, as Dr. Snehal Pandey mentioned, this topic being a very important topic, but less discussed. So I think Jain, this is the beginning of the effort by ISJS on this topic, and this should be discussed more elaborately, because the audience showed interest in knowing about the literature on Jain Ayurveda. Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being such a great audience. And thank you, Rekha ji. Thank you, Shugan ji. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned. We will come up with another lecture next month. Stay tuned. Jai Jinendra.